up close and personal with the microphone.
Oh yeah, you like that?
Okay, that's maybe a little bit too
That's my
much,
bad.
but
That's my bad.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it though. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully that's fine,
Yeah, that's
right?
fine. Yep. We're good. Let's go.
Alrighty.
Full left screen. Boom. Okay.
So this is kind of what I'm working with right now.
Okay.
Uh, I only started playing about a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to keep track of time in these times, but
Every day is the same
I
day. Yeah.
yeah, kind of work towards whatever I have right now, but
Mm-hmm.
just basically getting carried and I'm not opposed to getting carried, so I have a lot of the CRA gear and
Mm-hmm.
the secondary here. Everything's almost epic. The only things that aren't are pieces that I was assuming that I wouldn't need to potential or star.
Yeah, because you would think that
Um,
you would get rid of them soon, but then
exactly, but
tragedy
then
struck.
exactly. I know a lot of players are kind of saying that it's more fair or a more balanced gameplay with the changes that they made, but it kind of just screwed a lot of the newer players over. So I'm kind of in a spot where I don't really know which direction to go, I guess, to progress. I've heard a lot of people keep the boss accessories, the
Mm-hmm.
eye and the face accessory for a long time.
Yep.
Even when because this is actually I made this character because I wanted to farm. My goal was to get it to at least Lachelein or Choo Choo and get like around 300 400 mil an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Before I started working on my real main character, who is the character that I want to play most, like that I want to do content with,
Yep.
essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Um, done a lot of pre-quests on this guy to kind of get him where he is now, but like the biggest problem I'm having is what I'm supposed to do with this, what I'm supposed to do with my neck pieces, my earring. Thankfully, though, I got this before they made the changes happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is I got this actually that the day before they closed down Golux, um,
Mm-hmm.
earlier on in the month. But
So is the
uh,
goal still to just turn this into a farmer, or are you trying to maybe play more content on this character, or
um, to be honest, I'm actually kind of getting tired of this character.
okay?
Um,
So it's gonna be
I,
purely just farming then.
yeah, I like how the mechanics of this character and mobbing on it, but when I go into like, because I actually have a group of friends that I play with, when
Mm-hmm.
I go into uh, content that's hard for all of us, it kind of feels a little bit awkward, and I don't like the play style. I played a long time ago on Windia,
Mm-hmm.
and I played a Phantom, and I got pretty far with it, but this is just a fresh account because I don't remember the password to that one. Um,
I see.
and the whole pay to win aspect of normal servers kind of turned me off the more and
Mm-hmm.
more I played it. So,
Yeah, it's not for
uh,
everyone for sure.
yeah. Um, so the actual goal of this character is only to get it to the point to farm.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, there's nothing else for this character besides that. So I want to be as efficient with my money as possible because I have this stacked up because people were speculating another DMT happening.
Yeah,
Um,
typically March, July, and December is typically when they are, but we've
mhm.
completely skipped March so far, and it's almost May already. So that makes me think that we're just
Yeah, so the
probably not gonna
chances of
see it.
that happening, yeah,
Yeah.
they're kind of really bad. I know there's a Star Force event going on with the event these days,
Mm-hmm.
the Pixel Party thing, and well, like my biggest question right now is what am I using this money on, right? Like, is it 17 starring my end game gear like this or my CRA or whatever? Because I don't think I'm going for Absolab here. I think I'm just gonna go for the
Yeah, if you're just
shoulder
farming, you
gloves, cape
can
and boots.
as Absolab, you mean for those slots?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for the Absolab slots for these items only,
Mm-hmm.
and keeping the Fafnir on my Haku and my actual
Yeah, so
character.
if you're
So
planning to get there through getting carried, then there's a lot of stuff that you could be upgrading that you don't necessarily have to.
yeah, correct. So
Um,
that's precisely why I've only started these to this one and this one to 10
well, also,
because
I don't necessarily mean like not have to because you will replace it, but also not have to because you won't require any of the damage because you're not gonna need to
oh
carry
yeah,
your weight
yeah,
in the
got it.
bosses, right? So in
Yeah, I've
both
heard a
ways,
lot of things about the V Matrix. I've tried to kind
yeah,
of work on that too.
yeah. Certain skills
I
will be
have a
way
perfect
more
tri
important.
node here, and then this one's kind of like just a placeholder until I find something else. But kind of just working towards the nodes for now. It's
Mm-hmm.
just kind of hard to kill. Um, I one shot in Vanishing Journey
Mm-hmm.
uh, with my range, but so far Choo Choo has been a little bit harder. So
Yes, I'm not
I'm
even
kind
sure
of
that you would need Absolab gear to be able to farm efficiently into one shot. It'll definitely like make it easier, but I'm not even sure that you need it.
mhm,
The thing is though, like if you're getting carried at it and you can upgrade that, it'll be easier, and all your other gear won't have to be as strong as it, necessarily would have to be if you have a weaker set of gear. So it'll
got it.
just ease the transition a little bit. The main thing is just
Mhm,
like a lot of your damage is going to come from your emblem, and it's going to come
mhm.
from your secondary fan. That's like where a lot of your damage is going to come from. So you want like a
Yeah,
lot of magic attack on both of those.
got
That'll
it.
scale you like insanely. So you
Well,
do,
for cubing, correct?
yeah. Do you know how everything works with like your secondary? How which stats count, which ones don't, and
Yeah,
everything?
so I know that the magic attack and the stat is important, right? The magic attack and the stat, the int,
On
or is that
potential,
irrelevant?
yeah. Magic attack, intellect percentage, yeah. Those count, yeah.
Mhm. Um,
And then, but the Star Force and everything, and the flame, that's also important, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. The Star Force, the flame. So this one is not flamed. I need to know how many flames left, but
Yeah. But since it is a
this
boss
one,
item, flaming on there would be kind of nice. You get reduced efficiency, but you still get efficiency through the Haku skill, right?
yeah, correct.
Yep.
So I think I had 50 magic attack on this, and it didn't give me any of the bonus stats. So as ill-informed as I was, I kind of rolled it because I had some flames that were expiring, and I was like, I don't know what to do with these, and then I just slammed it, and
Mm-hmm.
it gave me this. But for some reason, this actually gives me more uh, damage range than equipping this outright, which is kind of weird, but I mean, I'll take it.
Plus
So
25. It's the potential probably. It's. I mean, it has to.
the
So the one thing is
6%
though that
magic
if you
attack.
switch, so if you have Haku out, you will use the buff on the top right, and that'll give you the extra
Mhm.
magic attack.
Yeah.
And if you hover over it, you can see how much it gives. But if you switch fans, the buff stays that Haku gave because it's like a permanent buff. So he'll give you the
Okay.
higher buff based on whichever fan give you more magic attack, and that one will stay on. You see that red buff there, the fox one? Yeah, so that one gives you, what is it,
The
10,
magic
100?
attack
Yeah, it gives you
increase, right?
101 magic attack. Now, if you unequip your weapon or you switch it or anything, like it just stays because that buff is just on. Even if you switch to a different fan, that buff
Oh,
always
got
stays the
it.
same
So
one.
I need to change this first.
If you're, yeah, or you could just right
Turn
click
that off.
the just the buff itself, and it'll just refresh the buff with the new weapon, and then it'll,
When you have it equipped, right?
yeah, when you have it equipped, and it'll switch to the new situation, and then you'll be able to see if it's really better or not.
Okay.
Then you look at, yeah, and you can look at your, so it gives 111 now, but your main weapon is maybe weaker. So now you can look at your range and you can switch them again. The only,
I should just keep this window open, right?
yeah, and then the only difference, of course, is if you have like boss damage or IED on one, that'll only work on your main weapon. And set damages, sets can also come into play. Like the weapon doesn't count as a set bonus if it's on the secondary, but it does if it's on the main weapon. But for you now, you have them both. So now if you right click it, yeah, and then you'll see. See, so
It's
there's
a little bit
it's
better.
a little bit better,
Just
yeah. But
104,
yes, if you're going to
104.9.
be investing
That's
any money, it's going to be in getting magic attack on your emblem and your secondary right now. That's where you're going to be able to make a lot of range. Apart
magic.
from that,
So
I would,
I
yeah,
should get my weapon secondary and my weapon my both my weapons and my emblem to legendary then is
I
what I
would
assume.
I would focus on those first. Yeah, that's like where
Got
so
it.
much damage is coming from. And then in general, yeah. So Gollux is kind of like leaving, and I think, or just being pushed way back and going for more of the boss accessory set plus just event rings is not bad at all for Kanna because you know about the beginner skill scaling with HP and everything with Kanna, right? Or not?
Sorry, what was that?
The scaling of Kanna on HP. Do you know how that all works?
I'm not too sure about it, but someone who was playing Kanna
Hmm.
actually gave me a lot of advice on getting HP stat. I don't know how much it actually helps,
So if
but
you open up your skill tab and look at the beginner tab, there's like a star skill there.
let's see.
It's called Blessing of the Five, the top one, top left one. Yeah, so it gives you an
One
extra
magic
one
attack
magic
for
attack
every.
for 700 HP. So what happens if you
Mhm.
get flat HP, or so if you get flat MP, you don't have MP, so that gets transferred into flat HP, and then that
Mhm.
flat HP gets multiplied by how much percentage HP you have, and then the total gets divided by 700, and you get that much extra magic attack. Um,
Got it. So a line of HP would actually help me a lot then, I presume.
so the thing is that
Is
you never want to prioritize HP over intellect or over magic attack,
yeah.
but if you
But if you
have
get it
it,
as
it
a extra
helps. Yeah,
roll,
it
then it
helps
helps a
extra.
lot.
Yeah, it can kind of. So if you have a flame that's very close, but you also have a line of like 2,000 HP on it, that can actually help it be very good, or it can
Mhm.
go the last way. Is that
So
104 intellect?
flames like this one, 1800 MP is a pretty good flame.
Yeah, so you would have to calculate your. Do you know about the flame score and everything? How I do that?
Like the tiers, yeah. So there's up to like tier 7
Oh,
for
yeah, no. So what I have
boss
is
tier
a
flame.
flame score is basically a number that you give to all of your items, and that way you can compare on even footing between all of your items. Because let's say you have a flame with like 20 intellect, 3 magic attack, 4% all stat, and 1800 MP, and you have another one with 60 intellect, 2% all stat, like you're already lost at this point, right? Like how do you compare these two flames? You
Exactly.
can't really know, right? So what I have is like a system where you basically calculate the flame score, and then as long as the items are both of the same quality and of the same level, you can compare the scores together, and you can immediately see which one is better or worse. That way, you know which item needs to be upgraded first, and which one. Maybe there might be a significant difference between the two, but you wouldn't even know it because it's really hard to compare between different item levels and item types.
So those damage changes wouldn't be they're not like what's the word I'm trying to say? They're not small. They're pretty big if you factor in
Yeah, an item that
the
has like I don't know, like no intellect and maybe 3 magic attack, but has like 2,500 HP and 2,500 MP on it, that could actually be like an okay flame, even though it looks like it
Mhm.
almost gives nothing. But you would have to calculate it. The way to calculate it can be a little bit tricky, but once you get it down, you can just use it for any item basically. But the thing I wanted to get at before is the reason that people are quote unquote focused on things. I mentioned this before, and I don't know if you're um, to which extent you heard about this, but that the concept of things being best in slot or the concept of aiming for certain things is because those things are best in slot or become really good if you have everything else also in order. Because some items are kind of like, well, you don't really combine any set bonus whatsoever, but this one is the best you can
yeah.
possibly get to fill that slot. But what
That's
happens
kind of
is,
the assumption that I made. Um, I think with this is the boss accessory set definitely helps a lot
mm-hmm,
with in terms of my damage, with the whole
see, because there's some.
magic attack bonus and all stat bonus, and then there's also uh, damage to normal monsters set that I don't know where it is right now, but
That
there was
was
like a set that
Penciler, I
gives
think.
damage. Yeah,
Pencilier.
Pencilier.
Yeah.
So that one actually helped with um, dealing damage. So I try to keep my set bonuses as
Mm-hmm.
high as I can. Um,
So the potential for Golics and especially for farming Kannas is that you can go 3 set on both, on so 3 set reinforced and
oh yeah,
three
the
set
reinforced
superior,
and the superior. Yeah.
because then you can double dip in the magic attack and in the percentage HP, which you scale off of that as well, and the flat HP and MP. You can scale off of all of those.
Mhm.
So that's like why that's the the kind of the Valhalla or whatever, like the really the go-to for kind of farmers. But that's going to be probably beyond where you will ever get if you're going to be stuck as a farmer on Lachelein and then maybe Arcana, right? That's probably where you're going to
Yeah,
end.
that was the end goal was. I mean, Arcana kind of seemed like a lofty goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided I would just stop around Lachlan and then play the game for a bit,
Yeah.
play my main, and then
Yeah, and then see if
work
you want to
on
really
work
go
on this
hard.
whenever I have time, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Um, okay, yeah. So then, yeah. So then, I would say definitely focusing. It sounds a little bit weird, but that means completely letting go of all the Golic stuff, including the superior Golic ring, basically. Because if you just look at the base stats of the superior Golic ring, it's actually really
Yeah.
bad, right? It only starts getting good once you get like past 15 stars and stuff, and you start getting magic attack. Right
Hmm.
now, the base stats of the ring are actually really bad. The only reason it gets good is because of the stat bonuses once you have more equips. So I would say focus for now on the event rings that are going on and get
Yeah.
those, because those get flat HP, flat MP, big chunks, and a lot of magic attack and intellect flat, and those are gonna give you a lot of damage really quick. Those are
Hmm.
people overlook the event rings because it's like, well, eventually you're not gonna wear them. That's true, but the damage they give is the thing that facilitates you to get as far as you have to be, so that you can like transition out of them. They're like a necessary stepping stone, basically. And even when
Maybe
you
like
do,
the Chaos Ring and the
yeah, like the Chaos Ring, Synergy Ring. You already have the Master SS. So you probably want to do Chaos
yeah.
Ring, Synergy Ring, Master Ring, SS, and then probably the Silver Blasting Ring because of the set bonuses. Is
Hmm.
probably what you're going to end up using.
Do you think so? My biggest question is with all the gear that I have right now,
Mm-hmm.
I know some of it needs to be upgraded. This one, I'm probably gonna find one with a better flame. This one is just a placeholder because it gives me the most damage right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd probably replace that with a better flamed horntail necklace, is what I'm assuming. So I could
What set
reach the
bonus are
9
you at
set
right now?
bonus
One,
on
two,
this.
3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you would have to switch. The only way you could go into 9 is if you switch the shoulder, right?
I could do the belt, right? There
Oh,
could
belt or shoulder, I
the
guess.
golden clover belt.
So you switch one.
And then the regular horntail
I
ring
guess it's
or necklace or
one.
the mechanator pendant or dominator pendant. Because I assume,
Yeah.
I have a reliable carry for the Absolab gear here,
How much do you
and
lose on? Sorry. Oh yeah. Oh well. Yeah. So if you're gonna switch the shoulder for Absolab, then you wanna
yeah,
then you switch the
this
belt. Yeah.
also.
And but you're gonna switch the ring out then as well for like an event ring, because then the ring will be by itself. So you'll end
Yeah,
up
I would
with
I would probably end up switching this one out. Um,
yeah. So
well,
3
maybe the
event
Kanna ring
rings.
for now.
Yeah. So you'll end up with 3 event rings. So the strongest would be
Hmm.
Master Ring SS, Synergy if it's fully stacked, and the Chaos Ring.
Hmm.
You know about the re-rolling of the Chaos Ring and everything, the stats?
I have a kind of basic idea of it, so you could re-roll the stats and then my bad, sorry about that. You could re-roll the stats on it, um, and the potential on it up to unique, and then once it hits legendary, you can only re-roll the stats on it a certain amount of times a day or something, or a
So you
week.
can re-roll 10 times a week and always, and then but only for a certain amount of time. But the time will be like visible on the ring itself. So on Monday the re-rolls will reset, and then on you can
Mhm.
re-roll up to 10 times until the end of Sunday. And it'll go from -5 to +5. It'll have the same stats as the Mastering SS like standard, but it'll go to +5, -5, random reroll every time you roll. And for HP and MP, it'll go from -250 to +250. So there's a lot of possible gains there for Kanna as well, because if you hit HP and MP and Intellect and Magic Attack, that'll be even more betterer, right? Because you'll have so much scaling going on. So that's why that ring also has great potential for you. And it comes with great base stats that you don't have to worry at all about star forcing. So you can focus purely on just getting potential. I think that'll help you a lot to focus your money more on your WSC to get magic attack there.
Okay. I wouldn't say this amount of money is reliable for getting my WSC to
maybe getting it
to the
legendary,
point
but
where,
getting good lines, that will be tricky. Yeah.
yeah, with this amount of money, I think it's gonna be a little bit on the
No,
harder side, but
one at a
I'm
time.
definitely gonna be getting some more money along the way.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I learned playing Reboot is that things take a long time, so I'm kind of used to that already. But I'm guessing after weapon secondary and the emblem, I'm moving towards upgrading CRA and then the Absolab, right? In terms of the cubes or
Yeah,
the
if you check
things.
exclamation mark cubing in the chat, you basically get a general order of in which you want to do, in which you want to upgrade your your equips, and when it comes to potential, and that takes into account how good the potential upgrade is. So WSC are like way up there because of that. It takes into account how long you're going to keep an item, and it also takes into account the average cost to get valuable potential, because some items like your hat and like your top, and to a lesser extent your pants, have a lot of junk lines. So the average cost to get good potential on there is way higher than on other items. And I would even advise for your hat, your top, and your bottom to keep them unique and to re-roll within unique with Master Craftsman cubes instead of going to legendary, because the amount of junk lines goes up exponentially when you move up to legendary, and it's actually way easier to get like 15% or maybe 20%, maybe even 21%. Intellect in unique than to get the same amount in legendary. It actually ends up costing more. So if you're planning on sticking to like 21% anyway, it's better to keep
Yeah,
it unique and reroll with Master Craftsman cubes, because there's way less junk lines in unique.
got it.
They'll end up saving you a lot of
And
money.
then after maybe getting everything like this, or like getting these to unique and then upgrading all the cubing, that's when I would start moving towards getting everything to 17 star, right?
Yeah, probably. It'll kind of depend on the event right now, because we have the No Boom Room. There's definitely that event coming where if you Star Force up to 10, you get +1 for free, right? So that's basically like 12 star on everything for almost no money. So definitely hold up to Star Force until then. I don't know by heart which Sunny Sunday that is, but you can find that under the events. Combination of that and the No Boom Room will definitely, if you can get your Absolab before then, that'll save you a lot of money. The 30%
Would
off
you
to do,
say
but
I
yeah.
should probably focus all my money on the starring first then before cubing anything?
Probably, yeah. I would take
Just to
events
make it more
over.
efficient.
Yeah, if they somehow announce DMT, then it shifts again. But if there's no DMT announcement, then definitely prioritize Star Forcing now, yeah, because of the No Boom Room and because like your secondary, you can Star Force that one as well, or your main weapon, whichever. Like getting those to 17, because they don't have because they're not like at 17 yet, right?
Mm. They're they're both 10
Yeah,
right now.
and since there's a No Boom Room, that'll make it a lot cheaper to. Oh, sorry, there's someone at the door.
That's fine. I kind of already. Oh,
We recently figured out that our doorbells are numbered in a really weird, awkward way. So a lot of times people ring my doorbell, but they don't even need me, so they were already gone. Okay,
okay.
sorry.
That's fine. I think I think I had a few other questions in terms of gear. So what I'm assuming or
Can I just recap
I've gotten so
specifically,
far is
just to
that
get
the
it? Yeah. Yeah.
Event rings.
So event rings. So I'll
Um,
just put down synergy, chaos, and then keep master SS and keep white silver blessing whatever as rings. And then for pendants, the second one you can get is either the regular horntail or the no, don't get those. Get the Mechanator pendant from Arc. That is considered a boss item, so they will get way better flames. Star Force, your weapon and your secondary. That's one that you can definitely do now during the no boom time. That's one to do now. Belt goes either towards Pink Bean Belt or Chaos Sakum Belt, because those are both boss items as well and part of the boss accessory set.
okay.
And then you keep the eye in the face, you keep the CRA. The shoe will go Abzo, glove will go Abzo, cape will go Abzo, shoulder will go Abzo. And then the earring, yeah, so I would say keep trying to do Horntail and Hilla, because they both fill the same slot for earring, and maybe you can get one with a better flame before you really commit to this one. Because flames are kind of expensive, so if you can get more clean equips that give you a better one, and if you have two shitty ones, you can also fuse them with alchemy to get a free reroll. I don't know if you've done that before.
Oh yeah, I've heard it, a lot of people do Pink Bean daily
Yeah,
so that they could get some.
Yeah, people do
good
that with cups.
flames
Yeah,
on these.
yeah, it's basically free reroll. So if you go into Ardent Mill, on the bottom right of your inventory, you have the little the Erlenmeyer, the little glass thing.
Ardent. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
you
I
have
already
it.
have the alchemy thing.
Yeah, you have your inventory expanded, so it's a little bit further to the right. It's like, yeah,
Oh, this one.
that
Oh,
one.
okay, okay.
And then you drag the two in, and depending on the level, you'll need some of those alchemist stones, but you can just buy them from the NPC.
Okay.
And then it'll just fuse them and re-roll your flame stats for you.
Got it, got it.
Then that basically covers all of the equips, right? If you get a Dominator pendant, that would replace the Chaos
The Chaos
Horntail
Horntail.
necklace. Yeah, but that's
So it's
very low drop rate.
Dominator, Chaos, Dominator, Mechanator would be the best combo here.
Yeah.
Got it.
That will
Anything
give
else
you.
that you see that
It will give you 4 set CRA, 9 set
9
set
set
of the
boss
other Mimer,
accessory set
and 4 set Abzo.
and 4 set Abso, yeah.
Yeah.
So just working towards getting the stars from the event is probably the best thing to do with my money now.
Yeah.
And then after that, if they have a DMT, I would probably save up for that. Or if they don't, either way, I'm cubing my weapon secondary and my emblem first, right?
Yeah, and stick to unique and master craftsman for your CRA. And then the only extra thing is to get into the flame score, because that's gonna help you determine whether an item has a good flame or not, and like which one needs to be flamed first over other things. So we're going for mainly boss. You're basically gonna have all, because they're all a part of the boss accessory set. If you get rid of the Horntail Pendant and you can get Dominator Mechanator, then all of your equips that can be flamed will all be having boss flames. So that simplifies things a lot. Do you know about the difference between boss flames, non-boss flames, all of that?
Yeah, you could reach higher tiers with the boss flames, right?
Yeah, so the bottom is higher and the top is also higher, basically. Which means that on average the result is going to be better, and of course the minimum result is better, maximum result is better. So it's just overall you get more value. But the best thing about it is that you always have 4 lines that get rolled, and if it's non-boss, it's 1 to 4. So there's way less variance in boss flames, and just there's basically just a guarantee of better. Of course, there's you can have really shitty boss flame and a very very good non-boss flame that shifts the balance. But in general, the boss flames are way better because you have guaranteed 4 lines, and then the other ones have 1 to 4 lines. So there's a lot more shitty outcomes basically, and then also the lower tiers. Yeah. So if you get all of that, then I think the only thing that's important is the flame score. So for Kanna, it's kind of complicated because of that beginner skill, but it is so good that it has to be taken into account, and that's why
The
it's
max HP, right?
yeah, the 700
Or the
HP into one magic attack. Yeah. So
mhm.
in general, so what the flame score tries to do is it tries to give a score to every equip's flames that translates to how much intellect it would be, roughly. If it was all in intellect, it would be this much. So it tries to unify all of the stats on your item into intellect, is basically what it tries to do. So if you have any intellect, that just counts for one score, for 1 point, because that's what we're trying to go for. If you have any luck, technically that counts as well. For you, that'll be 1/8 of a point. So for every 8 luck, that would count as 1 intellect. Okay, you're with me so far?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because it's your secondary stat.
It's a
For
secondary stat, so it increases my range by a little bit.
by a little bit, yeah, but way less than intellect. In the beginning, you probably still have some all stat. You still, you're not as specifically like into only intellect, so it still has some value. Later on in the game, that goes down to like 1/10, but it's still something. So if you have like 16 luck, you can count it for 2. It's a little bit, but it can add up over a lot of items, so that's why I include it. Magic attack for you will roughly be worth 4, so about 4 intellect worth. That's like an average based on how much percentage magic attack you're probably going to have, how much percentage intellect you're probably going to have, and how much intellect and magic attack you're going to have. So that's roughly where you're going to be at. And then all stat is for you is roughly going to be around 8. And then now it gets tricky because you have MP and HP that are the same, but that number is a huge question mark. So how you figure that out for you depends on how much percentage HP you have, because percentage MP doesn't do anything because you have no MP to multiply. The MP gets turned into HP before it could be multiplied. So percentage MP is worthless to you. So we're just looking at percentage HP. Flat MP is good.
Worth something, but
Mhm.
the percentage MP is worth nothing.
Exactly. So how you figure out what your total percentage is you take an item that has some plus HP on it, but no percentage HP. Yeah, like that one, for example. You unequip that, and then you buff up because you want to know what it's like when you're buffed, right? You just get your normal buffs up, what you're looking like when you're normally buffed. Again, this is like rough approximation, so it's not like super exact science. And now you look at your HP, you have 44,144, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you add the ring, which is supposed to give you 3k. And we went up to how much HP now?
Oh, this is actually max MP.
Yeah, but it's percentage MP,
No,
right? So it doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it
yeah.
gives HP and MP. Yeah, so you're all right. We have to count for both of those. So it gives you 6,000, but how much did your HP go up by? You were at 44,144. And now how much HP are you at?
I'm at 57k.
57,296, right?
296. Yeah.
So 296. So we grab the calculator, we do 57,296 minus the old one, which was 41,444. So it's 15.825. You divide that by the 6,000 that you gained, right? 3,000 HP, 3,000 MP. So your multiplier is 2.6. So every 1 HP or 1 MP you add is going to end up giving you 2.6 instead. So you have like plus 160% if you in your calculations. Where that all comes from, we're not going to get into that, but that's your number right now. So unless you add something significantly there, that's roughly going to be your multiplier. So that means that if you add say 1,000 on HP or MP, that's going to end up giving you 2,600 instead. So it's going to be divided because of your main skill by 700, and then that's going to give you magic attack again, and then it's going to fall under magic attack. So this is going to give you every 1 HP or MP is going to give you 2.6
Magic attack.
divided by 700 magic attack. So times So times 4 again. So it's like 4.6. So it's like 11, right? If you do this times 4. Why is there a comma here? Oh, I didn't put a comma. Wait. Huh? How is 15,852 divided by 600? Oh, this is fucking comma. Yeah, sorry. Commas and periods and maths are opposite for me, so it's always weird to look at numbers like this. To me, this is 10,568 if I see this number. But in English, it's 10.568, yeah. Or 10,568, whatever. Yeah, so 10.6 divided by 700. Boom. So 0.015.
For every 1 point of...
For every 1 point of HP or MP.
Mhm.
For you personally. So if it's 1,000, you just like 1, 2, 3. So 1,000 would be 15. So it could be like 15 per 1,000, I guess. So that's pretty good, right? So if you have 1,000 HP, that's almost the same as 2% all stat for your situation. Which you probably wouldn't have guessed that if you just look at the number. It's like, well, it's just 2,000 HP, it's whatever, but that's almost the same as a 4% all stat line for you. So if you have a little bit of all stat, you have some HP and some MP and some intellect or magic attack. That's actually really, really good. So those flame scores, in general, the numbers you want to go for are under the exclamation mark progression tab. That's roughly got like the difference between what you want to go for on a boss and on a non-boss flame. So you're basically, once you get your gear, you're only going to be looking for the boss part, and you'll be able to compare them all with each other. The only thing is you're going to be looking per level because, you know, different levels have different outcomes within the different tiers of the flames, right? That's why that's why those tables are so huge. So you can compare the CRA and so CRA plus your cup will be in the same tier. Your earring, pendants, CRA cup and so the belt, let's see, belt plus Abzo is going to be in the highest group. Then you have CRA and cup is going to be in the group after that. And then earrings and pendants, and then you have, I think Eye and Face are also together in one group, but you can double check.
Is that the lowest group, or?
Well, there's like level 30 item flames, right? Which would be horrible.
Oh, yeah.
We can check here for the levels real quick. There's also sometimes different stats have different groupings of stats with different levels. Like full stat, just like full intellect, goes by every 20 levels all the way up. But like dex and strength together,
different stats have different level groupings for how high it could go.
Like strength and dex together go per 40 levels. For example, even though they're both just main stat, but they have different groupings. It's then it's just 120 to 160. Yeah, it's not like super exact, but yeah, so 160 is always so per 20 and per 40. And everything else, and then HP and MP, I think have even different ones. They go per 10 levels. Yeah, this list just goes on and on and on.
Jeez, probably gonna have to make some calculations when.
Yeah, so this is just like the golden rule for you. Yeah, so intellect counts for 1, luck for 1/8, magic attack for 4, all stat for 8, and MP and HP are 15 points per 1,000. So once you have that, you can calculate all the flame scores. After that, it's going to be... wait, let me look at your screen again real quick. It's probably just going to be the eye and the face, right? So I guess everything is technically going to be separate as long as it's a different level because you'll have different tiers of HP and MP, but it'll be very close because it's only off by a little bit. Those are level 110 and 100, I think.
100 on this one, 110 on this one.
Yeah. And then we have all the equips covered, I guess, except for the weapons. But the weapons works a little bit differently, right? You know about that. You're mainly looking for the tier on the on the magic attack that goes by percentage
Yeah.
of the base magic attack and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
So
a kind of a basic idea of that, but I think just looking for that on my own would be fine. But for the most part, I think everything's covered. I have a much better idea of what my
yep.
gear will look like in the end. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah, the Dominator Pendant might be a
excited.
struggle, especially now that we don't have the drop rate familiars. Though that drop is pretty rare, so you probably
It's
hang
pretty
on to
rough.
this one
Yeah,
for a bit.
I
Yeah,
already heard about that. Um, hopefully these pendants will
you get like
manage
something
in the
with 20
meantime.
intellect or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mechanator should be
Uh,
pretty easy, so that should be pretty quick. Yeah,
and then either of the belts I should be able to get in
yeah.
a good
I
amount of
think the
time.
Ping Bean is level 150 and the Zakum is 160, right? If I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
No, I think the Zakum's also 150.
Oh, they could be
Um,
both 150. Yeah,
I heard
might
a
be.
lot of people use that as a fodder gear for starring, or actually for the belt.
Where's the
I think it is 140. It is 140.
140 for Ping Bean and 150 for Zakum? That's it, I think.
Oh, okay.
Right, guys?
Um,
Chat. Where's my chat? This is where I need my chat. Fuckers. Fuckers. What's the? Wait, maybe I have one in my inventory. Oh, my game already closed because I was not in it for 3 seconds. Clover's 140 and Zakum is 150. Yeah. So that does mean
got
that
it.
the only so you will technically get better flames on Zakum if
Mhm.
because of HP and MP because those tier up per 10 levels. You know
On
that now.
average,
Yeah,
right?
so on average there will be a little bit higher flame because HP and MP gives you stats. All the other stats will be the
Mhm.
same until you get to 160. They will be in the same group.
Mhm.
Yeah, and yeah, so the great thing about the event rings is just that they come with basically with good flames
With
and good
the
Star Force
attack and
on
then
them
the
without having to
accent.
spend any money. That's
Mhm.
just why they're really good for you.
All right. Well, I think that's a wonderful explanation. Thank you so much for that. Um,
No
I
problem,
don't
dude.
think there's anything else that I had in mind. Yeah, that should be it.
Yeah, if there's like small stuff, just
Um,
hit me up on Discord or just ask in the chat if you have time.
yeah, of course. Thanks so much.
Yo, no problem, dude. Good luck.
All right. You too. Take it easy.
Yo, thanks.